Now at 5, a Pittsburgh pharmacy is closing one of its locations. Find out what's behind the decision. Plus, the Attorney General visits Alcatraz amid calls to reopen the notorious prison.
The White House releases an update on President Trump's health. I'm Erica Brown with more on that and the bill that slashes billions from public broadcasting and foreign aid, now facing a final vote in the House.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
After years of serving the community, a Pittsburgh pharmacy is shutting down one of its locations. A tough decision fueled by challenges with middlemen controlling prescription drug plans. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Tanya Bach. Lindbergh Pharmacy is closing its location on North Broadway. The owner says the decision did not come easy, but ongoing struggles tied to pharmacy benefit managers, or PBMs, left her with no other option. PBMs are third-party companies that handle prescription drug plans, but insurance providers, but many pharmacists argue they do more harm than good. And we first reported on these concerns back in January, and now they're hitting home.
It wasn't an easy decision, but with the PBMs affecting reimbursements and patient choices of where they go, this put a strain on independent pharmacies, and so that was one of the factors. And then for staffing, it takes a lot of staff to run two locations.
Brandy Wolf says she plans to consolidate her staff to the South Campus for the time being. The North location will close August 1st. Meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney joins us now with a first look at weather.
Well, we do have storms tonight, mainly low severe risk. It's a level 1 out of 5. For our central counties and south, and most of these storms are going to be along the I-44 corridor and south, and they're starting just after 7:30 to 8 p.m. So you can see where our isolated thunderstorm chances really kick off later on this evening and into the overnight hours. Currently, we've just got some overcast skies. We've had a pretty cloudy day most of the day. It was even a little cooler as this morning the gust front came through. Now we're watching this storm. This is where our initial storm is out near Tulsa. They're going to continue to move up along I-44 and into our area. A few more are going to pop up as well. So we do have these thunderstorm chances that are going to continue again around 7 p.m. and later all the way through about 5 to 6 a.m. on Friday morning. Now I'm going to have all those details coming up.
All right, thanks, Lindsay. The White House says President Trump is in, quote, excellent health, but they also announced the president is dealing with a health issue that his doctors say is common in older people. This comes as the president is on the verge of a win in Congress that will claw back billions of dollars in spending. Erica Brown has the latest from Capitol Hill.
The White House press secretary used Thursday's briefing to give an update on the president's health.
In recent weeks, President Trump noted mild swelling in his lower legs. In keeping with routine medical care and out of an abundance of caution, this concern was thoroughly evaluated by the White House medical unit.
Caroline Levitt read a doctor's letter saying tests showed no evidence of deep vein thrombosis or arterial disease, but that Trump has blood pooling in his veins common in older people. Doctors attributed bruising people have noticed on the president's hands to aspirin therapy.
Frequent handshaking and the use of aspirin, which is taken as part of a standard cardiovascular prevention regimen. This is a well-known and benign side effect of aspirin therapy.
The president has been talking with Republican lawmakers about the future of Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell.
He's unlikely to fire the chairman, but he has substantial concerns with regard to how he's managed the Fed.
And now the White House says it wants to know why renovation costs for the Federal Reserve building are higher than projected. Overnight, the Senate narrowly passed a bill that cuts $9 billion in funds that were previously approved by Congress.
It's been 35 years, essentially, since we've done a rescission. So $9 billion or $90 billion, as we think about 10-year windows, I think is pretty meaningful.
The cuts include $1.1 billion in funding for the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, which funds NPR and PBS, as well as roughly $8 billion in foreign aid.
The consequences of these recessions will prove to be devastating here and across the globe.
The measure is back in the hands of the House with a vote expected this evening. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Well, the House has until midnight Friday to pass the rescission package. If it misses the deadline, then according to the 1974 budget law, the money must be unfrozen and spent as originally directed by Congress. Attorney General Pam Bondi today visited Alcatraz Island in the San Francisco Bay. She made the trip weeks after President Trump called for rebuilding and reopening Alcatraz to house violent criminals. The facility, infamously known as The Rock, is now a national park and popular tourist destination. Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who represents San Francisco, slammed the idea as a waste of time and taxpayer dollars.
They want to spend money on Alcatraz when they're taking food out of the mouths of babies, adding trillions of dollars to the national debt to give tax breaks to the richest people in America and corporate America. And now they want to undo something that was shut down because it was too expensive to carry at the time.
Now, according to the U.S. Bureau of Prisons, Alcatraz closed in 1963 because it cost 3 times more to run the facility than other federal prisons. The FBI says 36 inmates tried to escape the maximum security lockup in 14 separate attempts. Most were caught or killed, while 3 are presumed to have drowned. Still ahead, the library wardrobe.
The library is coming back in style. I'm Tina Kraus with a project turning the page on fast fashion.
But first, in Health Watch, 2 strangers, 1 extraordinary gift. How a life is saved through a social media plea.
We want you to win big at the Stables.
% off your entire purchase, in-store only. Only at Ashley.
Topping today's Health Watch, a new study shows the annual flu vaccine is highly effective at reducing flu outbreaks. The research published in JAMA showed the flu shot not only helps reduce flu transmission among the vaccinated, but reduces cases among the unvaccinated as well because less people are spreading the disease. However, when flu transmission levels are high, the unvaccinated are not as well protected. Well, 2 strangers meet after one steps up to save another's life. As CBS's Caroline Gusoff reports, the incredible gift started with a social media plea.
Strangers at Stony Brook University Hospital at the same time. They never met until now. 61-year-old Scott Scannell needed an organ donation for polycystic kidney disease. 3 years on the waiting list.
I don't know how much longer I could have gone on with dialysis. My angel came at the right time because I was giving up.
Meantime, Anne-Marie Hassan was the picture of health, a volunteer firefighter, triathlete, chemistry teacher. This social media post changed the course of both lives.
I was honored to answer that call because I believe that God uses people to answer other people's prayers. And it's because of that. That's why I was able to be strong enough and even brave enough.
It's life-changing.
The transplant took place in April. This was their first time face-to-face.
Thank you so much. I can't thank Anne-Marie enough for giving me a second chance. She's a true angel. I couldn't be happier.
It's called altruistic organ donation, and doctors say it's far too rare.
It's heroic for somebody to donate a kidney. It's a noble act.
In 2024, there were 28,000 kidney transplants performed, which is a huge number and record-setting, but it's not enough. Only 300 to 400 of them were from altruistic donors. So it makes Anne-Marie quite unique.
If only other people would just not quiet the voice in their head and say, I need to do something and I want to do something, and just do it.
She doesn't want to be called a hero and has no regrets, just hope that others will step up.
I know my little bean has a new home and is doing great, which I'm so happy about. And I'm healthy and I'm fine.
And should she ever need a kidney, she'll go to the top of the waiting list.
Caroline Gusoff, CBS News, Stony Brook, New York.
Well, together, Scott and Ann plan to run a 5K in the fall to raise awareness that organ donation is truly life-saving. There are more than 100,000 people on the national waiting list for organ donation. 90% of them are waiting for a kidney. That's a look at today's health news. A little later, Joplin's Third Thursday returns tonight with Waterfest. We take you live to the fun gearing up in downtown Joplin.
And we have thunderstorm chances later on this evening. I'll have those details coming up.
Spend your school event Monday, August 11th. Sign up required.
Well, we do have storm chances kicking off again later on this evening. Those are going to continue through Friday morning, but let's go on and see what's going on right now out in Joplin. About 84 degrees, so we were definitely a bit cooler today than we have been for the last several days, but today's our only day. I mean, we're going back into the 90s, even mid 90s with heat index in the near hundreds to low hundreds by tomorrow. So this is going to be the only cooler day that we do see. Now it feels like 91, not bad out there. We do have storms moving in later on this evening. Right now, not much going on. Overcast skies, but if you look down south in Tulsa, we're watching some of these storms. You can see that was a little bit of a left moving supercell, but those are going to continue to move up and along I-44. Main threat, wind, could get some lightning, but currently just that overcast, dreary weather today. You can see, taking a look at Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, we haven't really seen any showers along and south of I-44 so far today. They've mostly stayed up in the northern counties this morning, but southern counties are going to get their chance this evening. So about 8 p.m. see a couple of these storms popping up just south of Miami, heading into Seneca, and then our storms that are south in Tulsa are going to move up. Now that's going to be a strong one, as you can see, moving in near Grove, and then it's going to be continuing again up to Seneca, south of Joplin, may even hit Joplin as it moves in. But you can see a little bit of a bowing segment there, just a small isolated storm part that could produce winds above 60 miles per hour. That's still going to be low grade severe, but we could still see that severe thunderstorm warning be issued. Now those will continue to pass. This is about 2 a.m. now on Friday, so we're still getting some heavy rainfall south of I-44. Might get some patches of showers, thunderstorms north of I-44. Those aren't going to be severe, and then it all clears out by about 4:30. Now we are left with, again, still some hit and miss showers and thunderstorms throughout the afternoon on Friday. Those are going to be your normal pop-up thunderstorms that we see in the summertime due to surface heating, because we're back into the low to mid 90s. About 93 on Friday, 94 Saturday, 95 on Sunday, and our heat index is going to be very high. So Friday afternoon, about 100 degrees in Joplin, Carthage, Lamar, 101 in Pittsburgh, but out there in Independence, Sedan, 104. Might see some heat advisories be issued on Friday, definitely on Saturday, where our heat index is going to be 101 in Joplin, 103 Miami, 105 in Independence, Fredonia, Chanute, all the way up to Iola as well. Now Sunday, it just keeps on getting hotter. Most of us are going to be in the low hundreds, 103 in Neosho, 106 in Carthage, Lamar, 107, 109 in Pittsburgh. So anything above 103 is likely going to issue a heat advisory. So that's what we're going to be dealing with over the weekend. Could get some more pop-up storms there on Sunday afternoon as well, but really after our morning storms clear out, the rest of the week we're focusing on the heat. We are just jumping right in. It's like from storm chances and, you know, a little bit of a longer spring season to right into the heat this week.
Oh, and I don't even want to look at that heat for next week.
99 next Saturday.
Oh, we need a little cool off. All right, thanks, Lindsay. Well, it is time for another Third Thursday, Joplin's must-attend community cultural event. And you're looking at a live image of downtown Joplin, specifically a water tank, where in just a few minutes this section of Main Street will come alive with local artisans, music, entertainment, and delicious food. Now, the theme tonight, if you might have guessed, is Waterfest. Come out and enjoy fun water activities for both kids and adults throughout the evening. And if you can't make it out, mark your calendar for next month, August 21st, with the theme, The Dog Days of Summer. Well, coming up, what if you could borrow a dress like you borrow a book? We take you to a library that's changing fashion forever.
Casino's Hot Seat Cash Giveaway.
Star the truth about the Wild West legend on July 17th and 18th. Contact the museum for more info.
Topping today's Consumer Watch, even with mixed signals about the economy, Americans have been on a shopping spree. Consumer spending ticked higher last month despite uncertainty over tariffs and the U.S. economy. The latest snapshot from the Commerce Department shows Americans spent over $720 billion on retail and food sales. That's up 0.6% from May and up nearly 4% from last June. The numbers were about 3 times higher than expected and continued to surge during online sales in July.
There's some evidence there was a lot of spending on low ticket items, that the average ticket price on what was spent was like $25. I think what we're really seeing about consumers right now, with inflation, with prices being high, people are more discerning. They're being very strategic. They're really considerate of how they're spending their money.
During a 4-day period in July, consumers spent more than $24 billion on Amazon Prime and other online sales events, up 30% from a year ago. Well, libraries lend a lot more than books these days. You can borrow musical instruments, power tools, even cake pans. But overseas, visitors are checking out something a bit more fashionable. CBS's Tina Kraus has the story.
Once upon a time, libraries were all about books.
It's even got pockets, a dress with pockets.
But this one in England has people checking out new looks.
And the fit's really good on you.
These women are helping to turn the page on fast fashion.
And it's the ideal. You borrow a book, you borrow a dress.
By keeping pre-loved clothing in circulation.
That you're actually not destroying the planet by buying new fast fashion all the time. You're borrowing it and putting it back for somebody else to enjoy.
How does it make you feel when you see people so excited about this?
It's real good vibes. It's a really nice feeling.
Lizzie Dibble founded With Love From, a community campaign to cut clothing waste.
So anything you donated would be with love from Tina. And it adds to that idea that pre-loved clothing should be more special because it's got that past, it's got that history, it's got that story.
Like a book?
Yeah, absolutely like a book.
And that won't cost you anything?
It won't cost me anything, and I can have that for, well, 3 weeks, if not longer, if I want to. Just have your card.
Donated clothes are barcoded, just like books.
It is completely free. If you've got a library card, you can borrow items.
You go and you browse, you choose your items, you bring them to the desk, you beat them like a book, and then off you go.
It's really nice to see people celebrating clothing that otherwise would have been sitting in somebody's wardrobe collecting dust.
I am tempted to take this jacket for the weekend.
Ooh, nice colour.
The shared wardrobe now has more than 900 pieces and counting.
I would love to see this in all communities around the world.
A fresh take on fashion.
That is a nice red.
And a reminder that sustainability never goes out of style. Tina Kraus, CBS News, Oswestry, England.
Now, borrowers are asked to care for the clothing as if it belongs to a friend, so clothes can stay in circulation as long as possible. And if items become too old or damaged, they're given to fashion design students who can cut them up and make them into something new. Final check of the forecast is next.
We are proud to salute Vince O'Hendren, a 4-state hero.
Up next on the CBS Evening News, we take you to the Congressional Women's Softball Game in Washington, D.C., where lawmakers are finding common ground for a good cause. And then on KOAM News at 6, we take you to construction camp underway this week at Pittsburgh State University. Plus, a family's memorial at an Arkansas cemetery is targeted by thieves, sparking frustration and heartbreak. And KOAM Sports Director Ryan Blank gives us an update on the Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice's investigation after his multi-car accident last year. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and KOAM News at 6. Well, regional and public libraries take aim at a new book about Carthage native Belle Starr. Belle Starr, the truth behind the Wild West legend, will hit the shelves of local and regional libraries thanks to an anonymous donation of 250 books. The author, Michael Wallace, is signing each copy of the donated books.
Overwhelmed. You know, it's so important to me that these 250 books from an incredible anonymous donor are going to end up in 3 great Route 66 states, because Route 66 is my road.
Well, Michael Wallace will also be talking about his book at the Livery Drought House at Red Oak 2, where the Belle Starr house is, tomorrow evening. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
actually seen that house where Belle Starr used to live, so that's pretty neat. Final check of the forecast?
Well, the forecast is not pretty neat right now. We do have storms coming in later on this evening after about 7 to 8 p.m. Those continue till Friday morning. We'll have some hit and miss thunderstorms Friday afternoon, non-severe, and then the heat creeps in.
So you're going to be busy and then hot.
Yes.
Well, thank you for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next, and we'll be back here for KOAM News at 6. And we'll see you then. Have a great evening and an even better tomorrow.